I just finished uploading my D1 video, and that was not the most, how do I put this? I wasn't doing so well in that video. I mean, I was playing, and I was getting my butt kicked, and I was complaining about getting my butt kicked, and it just wasn't that great of a time. So if you're coming from that and you're now watching this, this is some D2, and I'm gonna be talking a little bit. I thought it'd be fun. I don't know if it'd be fun. I thought it'd be interesting to, let's turn that down, to talk about my thoughts on Destiny 2, the state of Destiny 2, and just simply why I'm playing now, and yeah. So I'm grinding my Titan. And what I mean by grinding, I'm just literally trying to level him up, get some new gear, do whatever. I don't really have much of an incentive to play. I will talk about my incentive. My prime incentive is just be prepared for these updates. So, Bungie has many a time talked about the state of the game and what their plans are. And I'm just going to give some of my opinions, some of my hopes, some of my thoughts, and I will say, I'm not someone like, what are you talking about, this game is great, I can't believe anyone would hate on this game kind of person, right? This game has definitely, Bungie has definitely had some problems, made some mistakes, and it seriously has put the game in a really bad position right now. And it's sad, it's really sad to see a game that was gonna be the prime motive for the channel. The biggest thing we were going to do with this channel was going to be Destiny 2. And it was going to be... This is still really loud. I'm trying to talk and it's just... So I'm going to be trying to... I'm going to be trying to give my thoughts and trying to express this without... how do I put this? I'm kind of struggling with words right now, if you couldn't already tell. So, the game is at the point where you make a video on it, and anything positive you say about it, there's someone out there who will comment down below hating on it, who will be like, this game sucks, why are you playing this game? They don't even watch the video to hear my response of why I'm playing the game. Where am I going? Am I going the right way? Yeah. The heck? Okay. So... Why isn't that pushing me very far? Anyway. And you know that, I mean, I'm not saying they don't have the right, or that they're not, they always have the right to comment, but, I'm not saying that I can't blame you. I really can't blame you for wanting to be mad at the game, wanting to comment, wanting to burn the game. So, but what I will say is at least watch the video, at least before you comment, if you do, which I don't even think anybody will, considering no one's probably gonna watch this anyway. But if you do, at least watch the video to get to the point where you understand why I'm at least making the video. Okay, so Destiny has released, or Bungie, not Destiny, Bungie, well, I guess, whatever, released a series of updates, or plans for updates, that are basically just trying to cover everything wrong with the game. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I'm going to be talking about if they're good updates. So the first one coming, the next one, we had the 1.1.2, I believe, was the January 27th, maybe one? I don't remember if it's January 27th or what. But, basically it's already over, and it gave Masterwork Armor, raid rewards, and stuff like that. I mean, a good update, right? Like, you know, you add Masterwork Armor, Masterwork or you add Masterwork Armor. I keep saying the same thing. I'm like so distracted I can't get my thoughts out. This is so annoying. You're like, what the heck? Like I keep saying the same thing over and over again. Never able to finish a thought because I'm trying to focus on killing ads at the same time that I'm trying to talk about something. And hearing the gameplay and everything in the background is completely throwing me off. Actually, I'm taking off my headphones. So now the only thing I'm hearing is my own voice. So hopefully that'll make me talk a bit smoother. So that's it. They added Masterwork Armor and Raid perks. And the Raid perks are actually pretty cool. The Masterwork Armor makes it so that you take 3% less damage. Each piece gives you 3% less damage from a super. And you can, and you have to, while in super, right? And if you've got all Masterwork Armor, that I guess that's 15% less damage, which is really good in PvE or PvP. PvE isn't bad; like it'd be nice, but I mean it's not really already a problem. PvP, it's kind of a problem. Like you die really. Oh, what the heck! Wasn't watching where I was going, and yeah, but Masterwork Armor gives you that 15%, as well as there's some other thing. It does some other things. Oh right, its perks are like more recovery, more. That'd be really embarrassing if I fell off right there. Actually, I can't. I'm not gonna jinx it. Let's be really careful. So Masterwork. So they give you like you can pick recovery, mobility. You can add like 1 to that, which is really nice actually. So it gives you like you can get a heck of a lot more, and I think it's. I'm really embarrassing myself right now. If I hadn't already embarrassed myself enough in the D1 gameplay where I was just getting totally trampled, I'm really embarrassing myself now by falling off edges over and over again. Get a wake up. So let's see if I can get a thought out. So Masterwork Armor is actually a pretty good update. Or so once again, it was just a good update. It was a good addition. Obviously, it's not what the community's looking for, right? We're not. I mean, yes, we're getting more incentives and more grind, and that's great, right? But even then, it's not enough. It's not going to be enough yet. Just that. I mean, I think, and that's why no one's refounded the game yet, right? I'm gonna. No, come on. Stop. Just go. I'm like struggling to do this strike. Not strike. Story mission. And I'm at level, like I'm above level. I'm level 2, I'm level 10, I believe. So, once again, good update. Really good update, in fact. Because they added Masterwork Armor. Not really what we're looking for yet. Like, what we're looking for, yes, but not enough. They added raid specific perks again. Those are pretty great. And the mod system in general is also really not in a really good state. So it doesn't really help that either. And I'm sure when they fix, or whatever they do with the mods, which I believe is in the fall or the next season, I'll have to read the update again. That shield bash thing does not throw you far enough forward, in my opinion. Actually, I take that off. So I'm using Sentinel right now because I haven't got the other thing. I'm putting on. I'm more looking for Ward Up. I'm more of a PvE setup for my Titan here. So for now, at least. Oh, heck. So, once again, mods, I mentioned they'll be better. So that was a good update, right? I mean, they added a lot of stuff. Some definitely necessary things, definitely things that were going to help the game. And just where the current state, it's not... Yeah, it's not enough. It's just not going to be enough. I don't think they expected it to be enough. I don't think they expected it to change much of the game. And, you know, they're nice. They're definitely nice things to have. I think I want to see more than just recovery, more than just adding mobility for those... Because all armor is anymore, is mobility, recovery, and resilience, right? It's no longer like perks to help you with certain things. Yes, the only exception is this because they made it so that you get, oh yeah, you take less damage. Taking less damage from the super, great. I want to see more than that. I mean, I think that with the mods thing, they are going to be doing that. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to kill as many ads as possible as well to get more XP. I don't know how worth it that is at this point. It might really not be. These guys don't melee, right? If you melee, I'm kind of screwed because I'm gonna sword you. Uppercut. Crap, I wasted. Swiper, no swiping. Is that Swiper, no swiping? Is that his name, Swiper? Yeah, it was Swiper. Definitely Swiper. Dora the Explorer. 3 sisters, right? Watched Dora the Explorer a lot. Watched a lot of Barbie movies too. I was born with 3 sisters. My younger brother was born much later, so I mean, it doesn't really count. Peter doesn't really count. He's really young, so he didn't really make an effect. He never got to experience the hours of Barbie movies I watched. Anyway, let's go and kill this guy if we can. That did do a pretty significant amount of damage, and he doesn't melee. So, we'll do that again. Don't kill me. Thank you. Don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me. Oh, a hand cannon. I want another hand cannon. I love this hand cannon, actually. This thing has been doing me pretty good. Doing me pretty good. It's doing pretty well for me, so. So once again, I like to see better perks. I'd like to see more than just what the armor's doing right now. Than just supers, and I think they can take that in the right way. I think they're planning on taking that in a better way. So we'll see. The other thing, the next update they're doing, basically, is February 27th coming up real soon. 3 days. Also, coincidentally, Noah's birthday. That is going to be a... it's adding strike scoring, which is... you know what, I mean... What I'm going to say about strike scoring is it's not that big a deal to me. I mean, it's cool, and it's a great... Actually, what they're doing with it's great. It's a great update. Not the most... It's not going to be a big incentive to come back to the game. But a really amazing update. What they're doing is amazing. What they're adding is amazing. It's just not going to be... They can't put in yet what they need to put in. I mean, not... Okay, so what they're basically doing, and I'll talk about this a bit more, is strike scoring for Nightfall and for regular heroic strikes. I don't know if it's regular strikes, but I believe it's heroic strikes as well. Is you go in there and you take away the timer. If you know now, there's a timer, and that timer really forces you to basically run through, pass up as many obstacles as possible, basically speed running it as fast as possible. And that's not really fun. It's not fun, it's not rewarding necessarily, and it's not what the game should be. So what they're adding is really it's much, much better, and it's better than what D1 ever had. But the problem is, before that even becomes a real thing, there's some other things that need to change to make that even worth it. They need to make weapons and items worth getting again, not just a raid or even if they add strike specific, which they are, strike specific loot, and adding things that are like maybe more incentiveness. I don't know, more encouraging to go out and get. If the weapons aren't... what they need is the weapons not to all feel the same. Like, you get the number... For example, 450 RPM auto rifles, which are a problem within itself, because they do too much damage to the head. Body is fine. Like, I think they're the lowest time to kill body shot auto rifle archetype in the game. But, when it comes to... when it comes to... I'm, like, struggling. I'm really struggling. Even not hearing the sound at all, I'm still struggling to get words out. Okay. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about shooting this giant cabal butt in the face. What? I'm thinking about shooting him in the butt in the face, Andrew. Really. Real nice, mature, logical sentence. Okay. So, I'm gonna go back to what I last remember, which is talking about how the updates are. We got the okay. Wait, now I remember. You got the number. You got all the 450 RPM rifles, like all the 450 RPM auto rifles, the Uriel's Gift, Prosecutor, the number, even Positive Outlook. All those kind of 450 rifles. You shoot them side by side. They sound, look. A lot of them even look like a sound and look. Most of them sound and look the same. Like, and they do this amount of damage, and the perks make so little to no effect that it becomes useless, right? You just got a whole bunch of these same auto rifles that any one of them will work totally fine for PvP. And by taking away random perks, the ability to randomize perks that you can get on certain weapons, you take away the amount of weapons you can get, basically. You have to output so many more weapons, and they're reskinning, and not even that, but they're reskinning so many weapons, and it sucks. There's so many Uriels, there's so many Better Devils, like so many of the hand cannons look identical to Better Devils with a different shader on them. And it sucks. Even like some that are completely different archetype, look, shoot, sound, feel the same way as the Better Devils. And it's irritating. And it's like, if they don't fix that problem, which I think is going to be the primary problem, like not making weapons different, making incentivizing perks, like perks that are worth it again, perks that make a difference, that's their biggest problem. Uniqueness of weapons, uniqueness of everything in this game is the biggest problem. All the things they can add, like they can add strike-specific loot, they can add all this stuff, but if they don't fix that really big problem of loot, it's a looter shooter, right? You shoot guns at fake enemies, you get loot, and that loot is the motive to play the game. That loot to get that God roll IS Luna, to get that God roll Matador, to get that sniper you've been trying to get, that longbow, that 1,000-yard. That's what made people play the game. That's what made people, and plus, yeah, it's enjoyable. It was enjoyable. You're fast. You felt like a god sometimes. And that's something else that's the second biggest problem. They took away two huge things out of the game that made it so much fun. Incentivizing perks that made it worth it to play. Unique weapons that made it where you could grind and grind and grind. And for certain weapons, and never get them even. Like, I never gotten a God roll Matador or a God roll IS. I mean, I've played lots of Crucible. I have played lots and lots of Crucible. Never got it, but then again, at least actually, I didn't play that much. I'm gonna be honest with myself. I didn't really play that much. I didn't play that much PvP, so I can't really complain about not getting that perfect weapons. I got Matadors and stuff like that too, so I mean, it gave something, and it was exciting when you got that really good weapon that you were trying to get for a long time. When I first got my first IS Luna, Anyway, when I first got my IS Lunas, it was exciting, but they don't have that anymore, and it sucks. And then you feel slow, you feel clunky, everything feels like a bullet sponge. Like, you keep shooting and then you're not doing any damage, and it sucks. So, I mean, they're addressing one of those problems in the March 27th update, which is going to be a big update. In my opinion, I think it's going to be one of those updates that it's going to be a foundational update to the game. If they nail that update, the game is going to be much better for it. But if they don't, if they mess that up, I don't know what they're going to do, honestly. So, it's the March 27th one. It's called the Move Fast update. It's also the Crucible update. They're doing everything Crucible, everything movement and sandbox. huge update coming March 27th. So, well, I'm kind of excited for that, kind of nervous about that as well. I don't want them to mess it up. They can definitely mess that up. I'm hoping they don't. So, we'll see. Back to what I was saying earlier about the February 27th update, which is the strike scoring and nightfall scoring, stuff like that. So instead of a timer, you're putting score. More kills you get, the higher your score goes, right? You get kills, they give you a score, like you remember from D1 if you played that. And so, and I love that, right? That's great. And the other thing, and the thing is, you don't, but that doesn't, it kind of has the opposite effect. Now you want to spend as much time as possible on these missions. And Bungie realized that's what's going to happen. If they don't add something, that's what's going to happen. If they make it so that you get the more points, the better the loot you're going to get. I mean, who knows, the loot, are you kidding me? Oh, I'm struggling, I'm not paying attention. I need to, anyway. So, I'm hoping I really am. I'm struggling with, because I'm trying to multitask. You don't think it's gonna be that hard. This is why you want to do not live commentary. Live commentary is so much more difficult than separately making a commentary and inputting footage in the background. So, because at least when you do that, you can focus on what you're actually talking about, and you don't have to focus about the gameplay as well. So, what they're doing for that, to counter that, they're going to make the score bleed over time. So it's going to slowly bleed. They can mess that up, definitely. They can make it bleed too fast. They can make it not bleed at all, and it will still be the same kind of like slugging through the mission, getting every possible kill to get the highest score. And after, I believe it's 15 minutes, I think it is. 15 minutes, it cuts the amount of score you gain in half, so you only get 50% as much score from killing enemies as you used to. And after, I think it's 18 minutes, your score just goes dry. You don't get any more, and it continues to bleed, and you can't stop it. So at that point, it's a race to finish the mission. So that's great. That's a great way of countering it from being a slug mission. It makes it so you gotta balance getting... You're trying to speed run the mission, but kill everything possible at the same time, which is very difficult to do. So, let's go ahead and pop this. Look at all those kills. Okay. Another hand cannon. That's interesting. So, they're also making, so a lot of the big thing they're doing is emblems. They're also doing emblems in this update. Really adding value to emblems. Something D1 didn't have. Emblems were just like, oh yeah, your emblem looks cool. Great. That's it. It was just cosmetic. It didn't mean anything, it didn't show off anything. The emblems in D2 are not going to be showing off. They're going to be showing off, for scoring for different nightfalls. A nightfall will drop an emblem, like a prestige nightfall will drop an emblem with your score on it. And that score is compared to another, they're putting down a baseline score. So like a score that they think is difficult to reach, difficult for an average team to reach. And the demonstration was like 30,000, I think, for a team. And you can get you can go way higher than that. You can go, you can go as high as you possibly want. It can show off, and if you beat that, you get an aura that shows that. And I mean, I don't know, I never thought auras looked that great in general. I mean, in D2. I mean, they're cool. I just don't know. I think they need to make them, I think they need to not just change the color of the aura. I think they're just, I don't know if they're doing that, or they're making more than just changing the color of the aura rather than kind of what it looks like or its appearance or texture almost. So, ones that are really cool I'd like to see. Really cool auras for completing a really difficult challenge. And then you also can make it even harder by putting modifiers that boost the amount of score you can get. So like, modifiers like solar damage is increased from everything. And you can put that modifier on a Prestige Nightfall, and then make it so that everything does more void damage. So that can be a good thing and a bad thing, of course. Obviously, you'd hope it wouldn't be really a bad thing. Where am I going? There we go. Wait, what? Make up your mind. So, and that's really cool. Like, you can get 2 times more strike modifier score. So you get a lot more points, and it's harder though. Like, there's some pretty insane ones. Like, one of them is if you all fall into a no respawn zone, and you die. Like, if you all die in a no respawn zone, something like that, you return to orbit. You don't just I guess you would I know it's not that. It's if you all even get into that respawn zone. I don't know. I don't remember what it exactly was. One of them was like that really difficult challenge, right? Boosted your number of like how much points you can by a crazy amount. So that's really cool, in my opinion. So emblems are doing a ton with. I'm not gonna be sure about that, but they're doing all this stuff. This is a really long mission. I'm kind of hoping it ends soon because I do need to leave soon. And it's dragging on, and I'm kind of running out of things to say. So, also, the Move Fast update is supposed to be doing everything. Like, it's supposed to be making you faster, obviously, hence the Move Fast, and just making everything more smooth. It's supposed to be doing everything it's supposed to be in Crucible stuff. I don't know. It's doing a lot, and there's gonna be more updates and there's that update, and then a month after that update, there's Season 3. And Season 3 is the new, is obviously the new expansion, which I don't know about. We'll see how that goes. I'm kind of hoping it goes well, similar to how Crimson Days went compared to Dawning, or Dawning kind of sucked, but Crimson Days was actually a really good fix. It was a great way of fixing the game in a way. I mean, they did what they needed to do. They changed things so that it became worth it, right, to play Crimson Days. Compared to the Dawning, where it was all Eververse. You can get Eververse stuff without having to, pay money, so. Yes, a lot of it was cosmetic, and I think that's fine, honestly. The only thing I really want in something like that again is guns. I want to see guns added. Crimson Day guns that are unique and cool and different. I don't care if they suck. I do, but even if they suck, it's worth that over not having them. So that's the only complaint I have about that. So basically what I'm trying to say is I'm hoping that when they finish, or when they do release the second expansion, the Warmind expansion, it turns out similar to how it's similar to how Crimson Days was compared to the Dawning. So it's much better than expansion 1. So okay. There's a lot, something also that also is supposed to be coming is they've talked about reworking exotics completely, making them unique again, stuff like that. And what they've shared is about Graviton Lance. And if you've used Graviton Lance, if you've heard of Graviton Lance, you know it sucks. It really kind of sucks, and it's one of those guns that looks really cool. The idea behind it is really cool, but the gun itself is trash. Like, it just doesn't work properly. It doesn't work as intended. And yeah, it's just a trash weapon, honestly. It's got too much recoil, doesn't do enough damage. It's exotic perk, which is supposed to make an enemy explode after on the last burst is supposed to explode and do a whole bunch of damage. Knocks back the enemy really far back, then explodes, so any enemies around him don't take any damage from the blast. So it becomes a useless perk. So I'm hoping, and so what they said they're gonna do, and what I'm hoping is they'll do like exactly the same thing, the exact same idea behind all of the other exotics that need to have these fixes. Basically, they're making a 2-round burst, okay? So the second round now, so the 2-round burst has a high rate of fire, does more damage. It will have a higher time to kill than it originally did. Less recoil, more stability, basically. Overall, it's supposed to be better when it comes to base perks like that. They're also really crazy, and that doesn't end there. That in itself would have been great, making it just that small. I mean, it's not even a small change. You're not just buffing the damage, or you're not just messing with the base stats. You're not making it like you're changing the aspect of the weapon. So they're also making that exotic perk part, which is like the exploding Nova, the Nova bomb almost within the last burst, if you want to call it that, is now supposed to, instead of knocking the enemy back, rise them up in the air and then explode, which is gonna be really, really kind of cool actually to see. So I want to see what that turns out looking like. And then the final thing they're doing, which is even more crazy, is they're making it so that after you kill an enemy, I think it's a headshot only, I don't know but after you kill an enemy, it releases these little trackers, these little like SIVA clusters. If you've ever used Outbreak Prime, very similar to that. Like that's the idea behind it. It's like the Outbreak Prime clusters. Those are really powerful too. Those are really cool. And they're supposed to be doing that with a lot of the exotics that are not already powerful. So I think some of the ones they're not doing it to. They're not doing it to. As far as I know, they're not doing it to, like Mida. They're not making any changes to Mida. Not the colony. They're not doing it to. Another one they're working on very similarly is I can't remember the name. It's the one. It's the Cabal one that basically shoots. Basically, it shoots. It can shoot through Phalanx's shields, and it's meant to kill Cabal, and it's supposed to do more damage to Cabal, but it sucks everywhere else. Basically, it's a pretty sucky scout. So there's some other exotics they're not doing. There's some other exotics they're not doing anything to, but I'm hoping that's a big thing is making exotics feel like exotics again. So I'm hoping, and I don't remember. I think that's supposed to be coming also February 27th. It's coming soon. That might be March. I don't know. I'll have to check that again. But very cool updates they're doing. Very worth it, I would say. I don't know if that makes sense, but very necessary, cool updates they're doing. But it's not gonna bring people back yet. I think that I know that the one coming, at least the one we're about to have, the February 27th one, it's not gonna bring a ton of people back yet. I mean, it's kind of already brought me back. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of already, but I'm a big Destiny fan player. I play this game a lot. I really enjoy it. It's I like aspects of the game, and I think I just trying to get prepared. My incentive to play is not because it's going to be fun necessarily, but more or less because I want to be prepared for that March 27th update, where March 27th update where you've got you're supposed to be doing a whole bunch of changes to Crucible, supposed to be doing a whole bunch of changes to Sandbox. Really going to be a huge update. Ideally. So, we'll see. I was probably going to leave this episode here, honestly. I don't think I've got really much more to say. I finished that mission, and I'm gonna probably head back to the tower now and finish or whatever I need to do there, and then I'll leave the episode here. I'm making a Titan because I wanted to have. I wouldn't say I'm. I mean, I kind of feel like I would. It sounded like I'm anti-Titan. I'm just not a huge Titan player, and I wanted to get more into that Titan-esque play style, if that makes sense. Like where you're kind of gliding around or boosting yourself around, throwing nades and putting up barriers and popping roaming supers, because, I mean, every super you have is a roaming super unless you use Ward of Dawn. And I also love Ward of Dawn too. Like, all of their subclasses are some great subclasses. I love the diversity that a single subclass like Sentinel has, where you can be offensive. You can be an offensive player where you're throwing shields, bashing people, but you also can be, not only that, but you've got defense. You can be throwing shield, bashing people, charging at people, swinging the shield, but you can also block that shield, like block a golden gun shot with it. That's crazy. And then even then, you can also have you can have a Ward of Dawn bubble, where then you can also have your melee ability. You can either bash at someone with your shield, or whenever you get a melee kill with that ability, put up a shield for you and your allies, increase your reload speed. And what else do you got for this perk? I just got this one. But like your overshield from defense strike lasts longer and increases melee damage and reload speed. Like, that's great. And you also got melee restores health for you and nearby allies. That's awesome. Like the ally thing here. And you got Ward of Dawn. And that's also really great for, even Crucible is pretty good, but like that's useful for the raid. That's useful for a lot of things as well. So, and you got Striker, really great PvE or PvP, even PvE as well. You got Pulse Nades. I mean, it's just a great roaming super for PvP. It's just it's a pretty dang good super overall. I mean, and it's a good subclass. It's got, you get double nades and stuff like that. It's really quite a powerful PvP subclass. And I mean, Hammers is also really, really cool. So, Hammers has got its own special thing where you're throwing hammers, and hammers are pretty dang powerful now. And and I just want to have, I've never really played much with that, and I wanted to get into that kind of style. I wanted to get into that idea, because I'm a hunter, you know, I got my golden gun, I'm playing more safe, and then you're this Titan who's charging in, slamming things, and basically just destroying it. I mean, basically destroying everything in your path. So, got some dances here too. But yeah, I think that's going to kind of conclude this Destiny 2 episode. It's been a little bit kind of long. I'm sorry that mission I kept failing, and it probably would have been shorter if I didn't get so sidetracked. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I know it wasn't the most enthralling thing, and I know it's a Destiny 2 video, and it wasn't very interesting because all I was doing was talking, and that was basically the only interesting thing about it, was me talking and about the thing. But no one really, I don't think anyone gave a crap about me playing my level 11 Titan, killing ads and then dying because I wasn't paying attention. So, well, I'll see you guys in the next video. I know I kind of did 2 videos today. I wanted to do a Destiny 1 and I wanted to do a Destiny 2 one. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you stay tuned and enjoy. And I'll see you next time. Peace.